A lot of people before we started the podcast were telling me that I needed to pick a niche.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want a niche. I just want to be able to like do a podcast and talk about whatever it
The
is
niche
that's on
that
my mind.
You're the guy.
Yeah,
who's there.
the niche is
Yeah.
us, is what it is. The
Yeah.
niche is people liking to listen to us talk. That's what the niche is.
I like to pretend that we actually decided we wanted it to look just like this.
yeah.
This is our.
Is
these
what
were
we
our
picked.
aesthetic decisions. I really wanted this globe.
I really
All right, Jared, let's pick a country today. What are we going to talk about? Have you been to the North Atlantic Ocean?
I've probably been over it.
If you know what I mean.
This is week 7 of another podcast. Thank you for listening and subscribing and liking our videos. Please keep doing that because it helps the growth and it keeps us motivated. I've got Donnie here again, who's been a very popular side host on another podcast.
I'm like your Paul Schaefer. I just need to shave my head
Yeah,
and
you
play
said-
keyboards.
Yep. So thank you for being here again. How's your week?
My week this week was really good.
Oh, yeah. You told me why your week was really good. Had something to do with
No.
ladies.
Could be dudes. Not there's anything wrong with that. Ladies, yeah.
Well, great. That's awesome. Good job. Good job.
Good job.
Good job with life.
I'm enjoying my life right now. It's actually been good because one really important change I made
What's that?
is not ladies.
Okay.
It's that I have kind of made it my focus to get really good sleep.
That's pretty important.
And I actually did write this down. I think I wanted to talk to you about this on purpose. I didn't talk about it. I've been no screens an hour before bed.
So what do you do? Like read a book or something? Or?
Yeah, like my new thing is that if I'm having a text conversation with somebody or if I'm, whatever business has to be done and, sometimes you save, I should probably answer that email or whatever. I just finish it all up and then every screen goes in the living room.
I was about to ask. So you put your phone charging
everything,
in another room
everything
or something?
is on the other side of the house and it's like 1998.
Yeah.
From 9 o'clock till whenever I wake up. And so that hour of reading a book, man, there's nothing that will make you fall asleep faster than reading a book.
Really?
Yeah, because you're sitting there. And if the book sucks, it's even worse.
If the book sucks, you'll go to sleep even faster.
Oh, yeah, it's perfect. It's like
So is your goal to put your phone in another room and
Yeah.
find a really bad book and just let it put you to sleep?
Well, I like books, though. I
Yeah.
mean, like I say I like books. I liked books when my brain wasn't like obsessed with like screens.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of rediscovering the love of that. And then it's not just the phones thing or the screens thing. It's everything. I'm starting to realize that in my life is that I'm overstimulated times 1,000,000%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like everything
We
is
probably
just
all are.
like the most insane version of everything,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, I can no longer take a poop if I don't have a phone in front of me.
that has always been the
like
same.
I will hold.
You've always been
I will
that-
hold it until if my phone's dead until it gets a little bit of juice in it. So I'm not just sitting on the toilet just staring at a wall.
I remember one time being at your house and you were in the bathroom and I was like, it's been a while. And I look around and the Game Boy Advance is nowhere to be seen.
Oh yeah.
And you were like beating Advance Wars.
Yeah.
Like, my legs have fallen asleep. I can't get up. Because
That happens often. My legs often go to sleep after my toilet adventures.
Oh, dang. So now I have to send you something. This is
What
gonna
is it? Is it a meme?
This is going to have to go on the screen now.
Yep.
Yeah, it's definitely a meme. I need you
Let's
to tell
do
me
it.
what number you are.
Oh my god.
Did I send this to you?
Yeah,
already?
you sent it to me already. But whatever, we'll put it on the screen. No
No
filter.
Jared, what number are you?
Yeah. You said you were 7?
I think if I knew that toilet was bolted down, I'd try 7.
Okay, give it to me. Let me look at it.
I've never really pulled off a number 3, but I aspire to be a number 3.
All right, so Donnie sent this to me recently. And when he sent it to me, he said, I'm a number 7. You can see on the screen that probably, most likely, nobody is a number 7.
Bro, that's funny.
It is funny. Number 0 is pretty good too. They somehow fit themselves into the toilet. Oh my God.
3 is like because he like really likes the toilet. You know, he's having a romantic moment with the toilet.
The only real ones are like 1 and 2.
Like, so disgusting, and that's like my favorite.
Do you know those like those poop steppers that
Oh yeah, the squatty potty.
The squatty potty.
Is Connie she's gonna be upset if I try to squatty potty this?
No, it's gonna be fine. 1 and 2 are the only real ones. Everything else is like, if you're doing that, you might have a problem.
Well, there's like one on there. I can't remember which one. I've just spent way too much time. Oh, number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8. He's gone to the trouble to be up on top of it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Number 8. He's just spraying and praying. The top of the. I like number 9 though.
My goodness.
It's like number 9 looks like he's.
My favorite is number 0 because how did that guy achieve that? He completely in the toilet. You know what? That's good though because he's not like missing the toilet when he's peeing.
He's flushed all the way down. He accidentally. I think it was a situation where.
That's probably how my son should use it because he always misses the toilet when he's peeing.
What is it like trying to train a whole human to use a toilet?
It's quite the adventure. We're actually doing that. I mean, like right now, we're potty training our daughter, and she's doing pretty good. Gosh. But I mean, it's an adventure.
I would be so happy if like a little dude that looked like me, who could not use a toilet, finally started using a toilet.
He did. Both our kids are just. It's like we're like, hey, how about you try this? And they're like, nah. I like pooping and peeing in my pants.
I like it better whenever you have to capture me, force me to lie down, untie the crap that has been tied to me, wipe my butt for me.
Yeah, but then eventually it just clicks and they're just like,
wait a second. When I do this myself, then they don't have to catch me. And then
what's potty training our daughter right now and it's going very well.
Babies are so stupid.
Yes, they are. Because their brains are still developing.
They're using the bathroom in their own drawers, and then they're mad at you because you want to help them clean up.
Yeah, it's happening a lot. That is happening a lot. It's like, Indy, let's go change your diaper. No, I want to play.
I would rather be in this.
Wouldn't you rather play without poop in your pants? I would.
Do you remember? I remember this because Ben Folds had a song that referenced it. But at some point, there was an astronaut, like a space shuttle astronaut.
Yeah.
Who put on the space diaper and went to go kill her ex-boyfriend.
What?
This is a real thing.
What?
Look it up.
A space.
Yeah, an astronaut.
An astronaut.
It was a female astronaut. I don't mean to single out you ladies.
She put on a space diaper.
Put on a diaper, drove 18 hours from like New York to
I'm going to go kill my boyfriend.
Yeah, to kill it, yes. And it's in a Ben Folds song.
Why did she need the space diaper?
Because she wasn't going to stop.
Oh, because
she's like, I'm going to drive straight from New York City down to or wherever she was on the East Coast down to Florida.
So she was just like, I'm doing this, and if the
apparently
need shows
it's like
up,
a thing that happened. I don't know. I remember it because it was like, astronaut drives 18 hours in diaper to kill boyfriend. That was like the headline.
Did not want to stop for poop or pee.
Yeah. So I guess if you're like really into it, like when you're a toddler, you're like, I am gonna fit this triangle into the triangle, and the circle into the circle thing, and stop making me stop. I'm good. I don't need to stop. I have a diaper.
I don't need to stop. I'm just gonna sit in my shit. Basically.
Yeah, and then when we die, we just revert back to that. I'm playing spades. Change me later.
No, that is, yeah, someone was, I can't remember who I was talking to, but it's interesting, the cycle of life. You get born into the world, and you rely on people to take care of you, especially with like whatever, all the diaper stuff. And then at the end of your life, you just revert back to it.
Part of me is kind of be like, yeah, I changed a lot of diapers for this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
My turn.
Yep. That's why you got to make sure you got people that care about you, that will help you out when you're old. You know what I mean?
I hope. That's what the whole thing. You better treat your family right.
Right.
Because someday you won't be able to wipe your butt.
Someday things are going to get real hard.
Yeah, you got to be thinking in the future. I need children. Why? You don't need children because kids are great. You need children because someday you won't be able to reach your butthole.
Well, I'm just gonna say this now. If I'm not doing that with my parents. It's not happening. That's what assisted living is for.
You're gonna pay the money. It's so expensive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so like you and your siblings have decided nobody's getting mom and dad.
I don't know about my siblings. I'm just talking about me.
You're just like, you're not. I ain't doing it.
I'm not doing that.
Not it. Nose goes.
I'll pay for assisted living. I'm not doing that. I'm too excited to be.
I kind of feel like I'm lined up for it. I feel like it's going to happen to me. But you never know.
Out of your brothers, who's most likely to take care of your parents when they get
It's going to be me, probably.
You think you?
Maybe. Well, I don't know. It depends on the timing of my children.
Timing of your. I'm talking about like who has the softest heart when it comes to your parents between you and your brothers. You got Blake,
me.
you got Shay, you got you.
It's got to be me.
You think
Yeah,
you're the most
I think I'm the closest
loving?
one to them.
You think so?
I wouldn't say loving. I think they all love mom and dad the same. Blake is the most dutiful, so I think he might volunteer for it, but I feel like what's going to happen is I'm going to be like, Donovan, you...
Who do you think calls your parents the most out of you three?
Oh, man, that's a great question. I don't know. I think it used to be Blake, the oldest, but I think now it's I imagine it's me. So I think there's like, and I think it's because life stage.
Yeah.
Life stage, because I wouldn't say that's because one of us is any better or the other at like, connecting to them. I don't think that's the case. I think I would call them more likely right now because of what my brothers are up to. They have teenagers and children,
right?
And they are building businesses, and they're working very, very hard. And I'm over here being a professional musician, which is hard work in its own right, and it's different, but it lets me.
And a hard industry to get into, and you're doing pretty well at it. Right?
Oh yeah, I'm very lucky, very fortunate. Yeah. But I set myself up way for success, and it has not been something that I just like overnight. Oh, now I can play music and quit my job. It was something that I worked on from day one out of college, and even while I was in college, building the relationships to be able to. And it's not a lot of money. It's not like oh, I'm like crushing it, like I've made it. It's like, no, now I can actually just quit my regular job so I can do this is my regular job.
Well, you positioned yourself pretty well. You bought a house.
Yeah. You
got a roommate. And so like you're a house that's not super extravagant, but like really great.
Well, my house is awesome. But the reason why it's awesome is because I bought it before the housing boom.
Yep.
And I spent 2 years entirely remodeling it on my own.
You bought a fixer-upper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the housing boom happened, I refinanced it and then got it right before the interest rates went sky high. I got an amazing interest rate, and then I have a mortgage that's very low that my renter pays the lion's share of.
Yeah.
And so that allows me a life of freedom.
Yeah, and to pursue what you actually want to.
Yeah, so as long as I keep my debts down.
Yeah.
And don't live beyond my means, my life is relatively, comparatively speaking, stress-free. I think that's really funny that you bring that up. I never thought we'd ever talk about that, but I'm very passionate about people being financially responsible for their freedom's sake.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of, people think about like As a musician, you can fall into traps with wanting things, just
Right.
like anyone else can want things.
And the things you want when you're a musician are expensive. So I mean, like,
Oh yeah, like I have a $4,000 bass guitar.
yeah,
Like, and that's just, and it looks just like a guitar that's $500. So
Yeah.
like, if you looked at it, you'd be like, that was $4,000. That I think you can go get those.
spent $4,000 on that.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, that's because it was like the specific year of this particular model of
Paul McCartney
whatever.
touched this bass once. So.
No, not even that. This is like, it was only special because of what age it is.
Right.
Everything else about it is like, oh yeah, you could just go buy one of those for $500.
Right.
But yeah, that kind of thing, like that is a trap you can fall into. But I think that anybody with finances is at a spot where they could fall into the trap of, I need, if I just buy this thing,
Yeah,
I'll
some
be
material
happy.
item, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
When in reality, if you set your life up in a way where you can pursue, like on like a work sense, what makes you happy, it's almost better than actually making the money. Just having that time to work on what you're passionate about.
Oh, what's wild is that we're recording this at 11 a.m.
Right.
on a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Like, who gets to do that?
Right. And right now we're not making money, but we're like pursuing a potential dream.
Right.
And both of our lives allow that time to pursue the passions that we're trying to get to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
like I feel like I'm living the kind of life that people. Okay, well, I heard this story, and I can't remember where I heard this story from. It was on like the Modern Wisdom podcast.
Right.
Okay, I was listening to this guy.
Who's in the Modern Wisdom podcast?
Some English guy who moved to Austin. I don't
Okay.
know. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
He shows up in my YouTube. On this podcast, he said, you can. This guy goes down to, I don't know, some South American country. And in the South American country, this guy is fishing. He goes and he fishes. He wakes up in the morning, he fishes, and he comes back home and he brings the fish home to his family. They process it,
Yep.
and they make dinner, and they spend the rest of the late afternoon into the evening laughing, spending time together, and eating the fish. And this American businessman goes down there and he goes, hey, I know what you got to be doing, man. What you need to be doing is you need to go catch more fish and then go to the market and sell them. And so then eventually you can catch more fish, go to the market, sell them, buy an extra boat, hire more fishermen, and then continue to expand. Yeah. And then once you get a bunch of guys working for you, catching fish and selling them in the market, and once you grow this whole thing, then you can go international. So then you can be selling the fish in the U.S. for twice as much, or blah, 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 blah. And he goes through this whole thing, and he's like, so eventually you can get up in the morning, go fishing, bring the fish home, laugh, and spend time with your family. And then it's like, why would I do that when I already get up in the morning, go catch the fish, spend time with my family?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's an oversimplification of a very complex set of problems. But for me, I was chasing down a finance career that made me so mad. Like, I can't explain to you how angry I was.
But like, what made you mad about pursuing that finance?
It was
career?
all under the surface, and I didn't know that I was angry until I had gotten therapy and like went and actually talked about what was happening in my life. But truth is that most of life, and you remember this very well from whenever we were younger, is that I was the rule follower, and you
Yeah.
were more likely to break them. I needed people like you around me to loosen up. And I followed the rules all the way into a finance career because it was modeled to me that you had to suffer to live. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're not suffering, you're not doing it right. You know, if you're not sacrificing an incredibly large amount,
right,
then you're not doing it right. And I was also modeled to not really listen to my feelings. Like, don't listen to how you feel. Those are false. Just keep grinding. And it was kind of modeled to me that to have love in my life and to be happy, I would have to sacrifice myself, like, entirely.
yeah.
which is not a bad notion, and I do still kind of think that it's good. You need to
No,
live
it's
life
good.
of
It's good
sacrifice.
with it's good in increments. Like there's two different versions of grinding.
Yeah.
There's the grind where you go to a job that you hate
Mm-hmm.
to make sure that you can pay your bills and take care of your family. And then there's a grind where you pursue a passion that isn't supplying a living, but it has the potential to do that. And out of the two, the one that's not making money, if you are enjoying doing it, that's the one that's going to bring you more happiness in the grind that just pays your bills.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, to bring it back around, is I was angry because I was doing what was prescribed to me. And I started to realize in my 30s that, like, one, I didn't matter that much, which was really a nice revelation. Like, oh, wait, I don't really matter. Like, people aren't actually focused on me. So what I'm doing doesn't matter.
Now, right.
Yeah, like, I don't have...
You matter once you start, like, pursuing what you love to do.
Sure.
And then, like,
if it's
are
honest
able
and
to
it helps others.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
able to like use your experience to express to other people, like, hey, I did this,
Right.
and you can too. Just like a lot of people don't like the idea of pursuing something and knowing that it's going to take a lot of time. You know what I mean?
Well,
Everybody wants it now. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure, yeah. I completely understand that.
And if you can't have it now, they give up, and then and that's the end of it.
Well, so that's not what I think. I think to bring it back around, I want to finish my story about how upset I was and how I didn't understand that I was mad.
Right.
But I would come home and I would be very snappy and bitter and resentful to anybody in my life.
Right.
Girlfriends, dogs, fill in the blank. I never owned a dog, but I always told people that if I had a dog at that time, I would have kicked it. And it wouldn't have deserved it. You know what I mean?
Right. You were dealing with a lot of frustration.
Yeah, and it was because my whole life was wrapped around doing what I was told I had to do.
Right.
And no one was, and I was living a half life that someone else told me I needed to be living.
Right.
There's this great band out of California called Dawes. And the dude actually who writes the songs in that band, it's him and his brother, but he ended up marrying Mandy Moore. You remember Mandy Moore?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, I love this dude. I don't agree with him about everything, but his writing is like, it sounds like the Eagles and Bob Dylan like had a baby to me. It's like very Southern California rock, and then you take the thoughtfulness of a songwriter like Paul Simon or Dylan, and then you put those two together, and it's like one of my favorite bands that has ever existed.
Right.
But this guy wrote a song that says, you have to quit everything until you find the one thing you won't quit.
Right.
Right? You have to learn how to quit good. And I think that the weirdest thing about my life is that I was told to never quit anything. And that meant like relationships that were bad, and that meant
Jobs that you hate.
Jobs that I hate, but like I lived a whole life of just grinding my teeth up until
Gritting your teeth while you were grinding something you hated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, as soon as I figured out that no one cared, just started quitting everything. And then
Quitting things that you didn't want to do.
Yeah, I didn't make bad decisions. I set myself up in a way where my financial obligations were low,
Yeah.
so I could take risks.
That's great.
But I would encourage everyone to do that. And I think the biggest thing standing in the way of that is consumer debt.
Oh yeah.
So people
Buying outside of your means to where
Yeah.
like you're stuck in a funnel of debt where you're not allowed to do anything other than pay off your debts. Mm-hmm. And that will steal a crap ton of your time, like your lifetime. Mm-hmm. Time is more of an asset than money is. And if you spend too much money where it requires your time to take care of these things that you don't actually need,
Oh yeah.
it'll screw you.
Well, I mean, that's
I've
kind
done
of
it. I've done it before. I've done it before, and I've got myself out of it. But it was in the moment where my time required to pay my debts. It's probably the saddest I've ever been, just because I felt like a slave to my own decisions. You know what I
you
mean?
literally are.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to reference like our Christian upbringing too much, but like it literally says in the Bible, it says the debtor is slave to the lender.
Yeah, no,
And so I wish I would have taken that to heart. That's part of the reason why I think you did such a good job of not going to college.
right.
You stuck to your guns about it, because I spent, and this doesn't seem like a lot of money, but I spent $30,000
Right.
going to school. That was an entire year's wages to go to the 4-year university.
Yep.
And it was all on debt, and I still owe $8,000 of that debt. Biden said he was going to pay it off, and then he didn't. I was like, Joe, that was the last piece of the bro. But I'm on the hook for $300 a month.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like,
And that'll take you 2.5 more years.
every month I have to buy a PlayStation.
Yeah, every month you have to buy a PlayStation
yeah, it's like, why do I got to do
to pay off your school that you
Don't use.
aren't using, right?
Don't use.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I say that I met the most amazing people in
Right.
the university.
You're paying for the experience that you had,
Yeah,
I guess. And that's great in its own sense.
I
Like,
still think it's worth it
Yeah.
for me for what I did, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Silver lining. You
know.
you probably
Yeah.
met a lot of great people.
Oh,
That
fantastic.
requires you $300 a month now, but I assume some of those relationships are still there, right? From
yeah.
college.
Oh yeah.
So you're paying,
Yeah.
which that's probably like helps you with networking. I mean, like
Yeah.
I'm sure there was a lot of other musicians that you met that you work with now.
In fact, the drummer and I went to school at the exact same time.
Yeah. So
Both both of us were.
maybe
in
you've made
music
more money with
leadership.
him
Yeah.
doing gigs than you have spent
That's not
$300 a
true.
month.
Not with him.
I was being hopeful. I wasn't sure if that was true.
That
but-
would be awesome. That would be awesome. I'm costing him money right now, I think, because he's in the original music project that
I see.
that I have.
I see.
He's not in the money making ones. So I have a question for you.
What's that?
Well, so we were just talking about the value of friendship,
Yeah.
right? Based on like it was worth me going to debt at college to meet these new people and to expand my social circles. But I know this sounds like such a generic question, but I wanted to see your take on it. What is a good friend? Because I would say you're an amazing friend to me, but what we have, I don't think is. I think it maybe should be normal, and maybe it's not as normal as it should be.
I think a good friend is a person that is real with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to worry about their opinion being like a yes man or like a
Yes.
like just saying what you want to hear, but someone that's real with you.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you have an idea or if you're making a bad decision or if they don't like the person you're dating, they'll say, "Hey bud, maybe you shouldn't date that person." But even if you do, I'm right here. You know what I mean?
You've said that to me a lot.
Yeah, it's just like you say your opinion, let them decide what they want to do, and if they decide is not what you thought, don't X them out. Still support them in everything they do. Like that's really the friends that stick with me, are ones that will be real with me. Tell me when I'm being stupid. Tell me when I do something awesome. Be my supporter when I'm like pursuing some kind of crazy idea, but also like make sure that I stay level-headed.
Yeah.
Realness is what I look for, and if you're real with me, then you'll stick around.
Sure.
As far as like a friend, you know
Yeah.
what I mean. Those are the friends that I cherish.
That's a great answer for that. I've been thinking a lot about. I have a number of friends like you, but nobody goes as far back as you do. Like we go back to literally like core memories.
Like yeah, three and
Yeah, like
5 or
I
something.
remember just a few things that don't include you from my early childhood.
Yeah.
So that's extremely special. But I think another hallmark of our relationship that makes a great friend, that is everything you just said, plus there has been literal years where you and I don't talk.
Yeah.
But that has never changed.
No, we
the
come back
value.
and it's like
Yeah.
nothing changed at all. It's like those years that we spent separate didn't actually happen because the easiness to communicate and the easiness to hang out just snaps right back into action. You know what I mean?
Oh, and you know what's really great is that since we've started doing this podcast, hilariously, our other friends from way back, they've been messaging
talking,
us,
yeah.
hey, I've been watching
Yeah.
the thing, because it just feels like we're hanging out in the room again.
Right.
And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's always like, well, just come over. Like come back to town, you know, we'll shoot an episode with you in it, because I think the reason why I love podcasting as a medium, like I do music for a living. So like when people are like, oh, you're a music guy, you know about music, I'm like, don't ask me about music.
I'm listening to podcasts.
Yeah. I only read books and listen to podcasts and try to keep my laundry
Right
done.
now, for
Like,
me, it's like, as far as like new content that I'm consuming, it's all podcasts. If I'm listening to music, it's all the old stuff.
Right. It's
all
stuff I already
listen-
like.
Or like a friend's
Yeah.
music or something.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like all old stuff. Like Keen, Coldplay, Queen, Kiss,
Richard Simmons records,
Ben Folds,
Elton John, Queen.
Elton John. Yeah, that's all I listen to. I don't listen to new stuff. Oh, I listen to Justin Bieber. I'm a Bieber
Adam
believer.
Lambert.
Post Malone. I listen to Post Malone.
I like Posty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not my go-to. It's like I got to be done with podcasts and I just want to listen to some music. That's when I start doing it.
Today actually I decided I was going to listen to Continuum. The
Continue.
John Mayer record.
Oh, I have not.
It
listened
came
to
out
John
in
Mayer
2006, bro.
forever. I have not listened to John Mayer.
And I was like, this is fresh.
this is so fresh. This is like 2006 fresh.
Yeah, man. I guess everybody. This has to happen to literally everyone. This has to happen to every generation. But I'm like, man, you do 2004 to 2006, the best music, bro. The best music. And I'm like, and I list like Franz Ferdinand, Killers, John
I'm
Mayer,
sure your
Coldplay,
dad has
Paul
said something
McCartney.
like
Yeah.
that to you. My dad has said something like
He's
that
like,
to me.
1989 was
It's
the
like hair
best.
music, 80s hair music. That was it. Music went downhill after that. If you weren't a man with long hair doing rock and roll, your music was bad.
Yeah. Bro, podcasting makes you feel like you're hanging out with
somebody.
the people.
Right.
Yeah, so you're working your crap job that you didn't want, that you have to do because of, let's say you and your wife, that's probably going to leave you, bought 2 cars at $500 a month, and now you got to come up with $1,000 US every month so you can pay off the 2 cars that you didn't need in the first place.
Right.
So you can look like you're happy to the other people around you.
Right.
You know, like that kind of bull. It is why podcasts are now doing well, because they don't have any time to spend with their friends, so now we're their friends, or you know what I mean, or Rogan's your friend, or whatever. You know, you get to sit down and hang out and chill.
And listen to them talk about topics that you relate to.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You know, podcasting, it comes with a lot of risk. It's like you record everything you're saying.
I'm already canceled. cancel me. Don't worry.
So
You can go back into my past and figure out all the dumb things I've done.
So you express what you're thinking and you put it out there for people to judge you for your thoughts. Mm-hmm. But like if you don't, but if you look at everyday life, if you don't take a risk, most likely you're not going to achieve what you're trying, what your ultimate dream is. Mm-hmm. So like filming a podcast where you're talking about relatable topics where someone's probably going to disagree with you, should be able to relate to everybody regardless of what they're trying to pursue, because we're taking a risk. Recording our thoughts and just putting it out on the internet, knowing that some people are going to love it and some people are going to hate it.
That's one of the things I also heard when I was listening to this conversation. It was like, you need to surround yourself with brave people.
Right. Take the risk.
Yeah, brave people. And brave in every area of your life, not just like, oh, I'm brave, I'm going to go cliff diving today.
Right. Yeah.
That's not necessarily brave, because it's a controlled risk. Like, go surround yourself with people that are willing to take actual risk.
Yeah.
And the risk, the courage to be who you are and actually say what you mean when you know it's the truth in here,
Right.
Even if you're wrong, but the courage to do that, man, that has made me so encouraged to hear people be able to speak what they actually think.
Right. And we've kind of in the last few years been in a culture where people have been kind of told not to say what they think. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
Like it's
Yeah.
like just hear what the information is, don't challenge it, don't ask questions. Just get on board.
Well, I remember during like pre-COVID times and then into COVID times, I was in a relationship where I felt I had to feign something I wasn't.
Right.
Politically.
I remember that.
Yeah. That's the other really beautiful thing about our friendship was that, like, you at the time, I think you still do. I haven't participated much, but you have game night on Tuesdays where
tomorrow night is the
where
next
everybody plays games.
one. Every Wednesday night.
Yeah, and now it doesn't have to be in person now. Now it's you guys play Xbox or whatever it is that you're doing. And that group of people has still been my friends too.
Yeah.
Like every wedding, we always see these people. But the coolest thing about that group of people is that you could not put a more diverse group of guys together than that game night.
A lot of us
Literally,
think very differently. Yeah.
Yeah, I could. If there's a political, if political thought
A
is
political
like on an
spectrum.
axis, yeah,
Spectrum. It's just like all over
you
the
literally
place.
have somebody way the heck
Yeah.
over here that everybody's like, we talk to him every week, and then you have, clearly.
But the
those
beauty
guys
of
on
it
this side.
all
Yeah.
is that we, as a group, allow everyone to say what they think.
Yes.
We hear them out.
Mm-hmm.
And the next day, regardless if we disagree, we're still friends.
Oh yeah.
We are open to conversation.
Yeah. I'm.
And we are open to having our minds changed. Mm-hmm. And that's awesome.
Well, that's the only environment in which it's really going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, man, I run my mouth terribly.
Yeah.
I love to take risks in conversation and try to make people laugh or whatever. And I have this one friend who, one time we were on the app, we were on the dating apps,
Yep.
and I was like, help me swipe.
Help me swipe.
Help me swipe.
Help me pick the hot ones.
Help me
please.
swipe. So, and it was not just him, but it was him and some other guys, and we were like, what about this gal? And I think one of the things he called me out on was like, hey man, you need to like broaden who you think you would like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's probably right.
And this same guy has called me out for my dumb jokes so many times. And if I don't have him in my world to be like, you should stop saying that, then I would make the biggest ass out of myself so much.
Sounds like a great friend.
He's an amazing friend, and I hope that, I hope that he realizes how much I value him for that. Because when I get around him, I'm like, man, dude, I actually do want to be more like this guy.
That's good.
But I also think that he's wrong sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know what I
no,
mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah, you
And
can,
that's
you
okay.
can also be like, well, he's wrong, but man, that's such a beautiful place to be. And I called my dad about, because it reminded me of a guy that my dad was friends with years and years and years ago. And I'm like, hey, Dad, are you still friends with that one guy who's a Democrat? And he's like, oh, yeah, I talk to that guy all the time. He's my buddy, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, whoa, okay. This is actually how we need to be.
Exactly, yeah.
We need to be like that. And I think for sure this makes me... I was listening to this John Mayer record today, and one of the songs was... the first song on the record, it says... what is it? Waiting on the World to Change. Mm-hmm. It says, me and all my friends are all misunderstood. They say we stand for nothing and there's no way we ever could. And I didn't understand what he meant by that in 2006. I don't fully know that I understand it now. But when John wrote that, I think he's talking about people who are more towards the middle. Mm. He's like, they say we stand for nothing because we play in the middle. We talk to each other about things that we don't fully understand.
Right.
But truly, like, where the actual change happens, where I'm going to go, I'm temperamentally I'm more of a liberal by temperament because I want to be free and I want to be able to do crazy stuff, and like, if it's not hurting anybody, then don't stop me. but I also enjoy ideas that work really, really well. So I want to conserve the ideas that work. So I'm a really weird mix. It makes me a centrist.
Right. An independent.
Yes, and being in the middle right there and not like raising a flag for either side. I think equal parts, funny colored hair people and then Trump people are like, they equally are nuts.
Yep.
Like equally.
Yeah.
And so anyways, being in the middle is where the change actually happens. Like our friend, Rick or Cody, they can pull me left.
Right.
And then my friends that are, I have a wildly conservative friend who, so wildly conservative, I don't even know if conservative is the word for him anymore. You know what I mean? But listening to them and not excommunicating them allows me to be like, land somewhere in sanity, which is like
right.
in a
land
sane
somewhere
place.
In sanity.
Yeah, somewhere in the middle where maybe some actual progress can happen.
Right.
Where the good ideas can be saved and the bad ideas or the good ideas can be saved and the new creative ideas can be birthed.
You've probably been able to tell by just like my get up. I don't care about looking cool.
Yeah.
I care about being comfortable.
It's always been like that.
That's how it is for me. I don't care about how I think makes you think I'm cool. I care about how I think and how that affects my life and my family's life.
Well, that's an incredible mark of maturity that I feel like you came to way early on. That I always there were times whenever I wanted to put you in the box, right? Like, Jared, we are going to be a band, and so our band has to be. I remember thinking this, like, I love Beatles and Jet. You remember Jet?
Yeah, I love Jet.
So yeah, and by the way, if you hate Jet, you're wrong. But Jet's great.
Jet is great.
Too bad those guys couldn't keep it together. I don't know where
they
they're
made
at
one
now.
album and never anything else ever again, and their music still plays today.
Yeah,
so,
I love Jet, but so Jet exists, and I thought that was another band that came out around that time.
Yep.
Yeah. So I thought, Jared, we have to wear bell bottoms and play old guitars and sound like shitty Beatles or Jet or whatever.
Yeah, I was like, no, I'm gonna wear this tiny tie.
Yeah. You were wearing the tiny tie and playing a Schecter, and I was like, God,
Jared, that
Schecter
doesn't fit our image.
looks like shit.
Donnie, I don't care about our
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
I care about what I
want
like.
This guitar. I like this. And man, like back then, I wanted to put you in that box, but now, I admire that feature of you being that guy.
Let me
Because
say
it gives
this.
me freedom to be what I am.
Yeah, be who you want.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, and this might be pretty controversial, just in the area of fashion.
Yeah.
So, Gucci.
Okay.
Do you know what you're paying for when you pay for Gucci?
The name.
You're just paying for the couple words on the side of your
your
sunglasses that say Gucci, or the
You know
couple
how
words.
many pairs of Ray-Bans that have been stolen from me?
Right. The couple words on your bag that say
Yeah.
Gucci. You realize that you can get the same quality of product that just doesn't say Gucci on it.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're buying Gucci,
Yeah.
you're a sucker. You're getting played.
I will tell you this, and we should
You're
put it,
so conscious of your image that you're getting screwed in your wallet. Just because you're not buying it because it's cool. You're buying it because you want other people to think you're cool.
Oh yeah.
And it's hurting your wallet. So
Oh, well,
I think spending lots of money on name brand clothing is the stupidest thing and the uncoolest thing you could do.
Okay. You're right.
I am
100%. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm also that guy.
Good.
Like, I play a 74 Fender P bass. Or
Yeah,
no,
but
73. And it matters. 'Cause
But,
it's a 4-volt,
sunglasses,
not a 3-volt.
Sunglasses name
know.
brand and guitar name brand is completely different.
No, it's not different.
It is different.
No, it's not, because I can go down, literally.
Okay,
Jared,
well, you know more than me, so
like-
tell me what you're saying.
the funniest thing is that I suffer because of what.
Oh, name brand. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've
for me,
experienced like an off-brand guitar that sounds just as good as a Fender.
better.
better, but you want the Fender just because it says Fender.
Oh, you bet.
Okay.
Absolutely. It has to be like, and no. My 73P bass, that's not true. It actually is.
It actually sounds better
It's
than everything
it's a
else.
Ferrari. It's
Okay.
amazing.
A Ferrari without needing the name Ferrari on it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
incredible. It is amazing. Like
Right.
it is everything I've ever wanted. Now, what a P bass is like how can I explain this? A P bass is a Toyota Camry of
Nice.
bass guitars.
Nice. So it's going to
It-
last a while.
It just does its job.
It'll hit 300,000 miles and
it's
still work
so,
great.
Yeah, it's so ordinary
Yep.
that it sounds so ordinary that it's the most recorded bass sound in history. So I don't sound unique because of my 73P bass. I just sound like a guy who owns a P bass, which is the most popular instrument ever created.
Yeah.
Like it is the most recorded sound ever.
I remember you telling me that just like last week.
Yeah, and like when I say you can get a $500 P bass, like that's probably almost it better.
Yeah.
Like than my 73 P bass. My 73 P bass weighs 8.5 pounds, which is really light.
People care a lot about status,
Yeah.
and getting name brand stuff.
Well, also, it looks-
is a good way to
Mine-
make it to where you seem like you are within status. But then also
Yeah.
to pull it back,
Yeah.
you are most likely it's out of your means, and you become a slave to your own decisions.
Well, that's what I was coming around to. Is it's
Yeah.
like if it was just about sounding like I have a P bass, then I would have bought a used Japanese-made, maybe Mexican-made P bass, and it'd been fine. But I had
you
to
wanted
have,
the- you
I
wanted
had
the real
I had to
thing.
have the one that was colored just like John Deacon's from Queen, like exactly like. I went out and I played a guy's 75 P bass. Like he was playing jazz up at the top of the Mayo Hotel,
right.
and this dude is the guy who plays for Hanson. And he just happened to be friends with a friend, and we decided to go to his jazz gig, and I was like, what year is your P bass? Right? You know? And he recognized me as like, another nerd. Okay.
Another
It's a 75. I was like, what year is your flip top Ampeg B15? It's a 65. Here, just come play it. And so I got to play on this like amazing rig, and it was everything I thought it was going to be.
I'm gonna jump into the dad segment so we can the dad joke segment so we can get that in, and then I have a couple questions that I want to ask you.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Do you got your dad jokes ready? Do
I do.
you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You're going to love this.
All right.
All right. Never date a tennis player. Love means nothing to them.
Love means nothing to them.
Which reminds me of our favorite game of all time, Mario Tennis. Which you're the only person I've ever seen miss a serve on.
Yep. I achieved that.
Yeah, you can, with the character Waluigi, at some point, I don't know how you've done it.
You just
we've
got to
never-
have the timing just right. You'll
can-
completely miss the ball.
You can miss the ball.
I've been the only one that's ever been able to do it.
Dude, I love how we play that game, and I love how you always double down if you're a little sauced. We can bet on it, and I can make money.
Yeah. Sounds like me. That sounds like me.
All right, what's your next one?
But I'm just getting ready for my dad jokes.
Okay.
What did Spartacus think whenever a lion ate his wife?
Great.
He was gladiator.
Oh my god. All right. I don't understand why bakers aren't wealthier.
Okay.
They make so much dough.
I gotta hand it to short people. Because they often can't reach with their... I gotta redo it.
Okay, wait. Okay, that's perfect because I have to tell you, I bought cowboy boots recently. I'm wearing them. And I bought them for a country gig that I was a part of, and I thought like I should play the part. I should get cowboy boots. And my man, being a 5'9" guy
Couple inches helps.
In a world where, yes, in a world where 6 feet is everything on the apps, like that inch and a half, that right there
really helps.
is the difference between...
Helps the confidence.
Oh
sure.
my, you would not believe, dude. I remember when I was a kid, I was like, man, my legs are really short. I have really short legs and a long torso.
All I need is a couple inches.
If I was just, my legs were
and
too
everything
longer.
will be fine.
And all of my heroes that I was like, why everyone has long legs? Now I know, it's the Cuban-heeled boot, man. Like that right there, the Beatles, every rock and roll band, every person I ever saw was cheating. This is cheating.
With some cowboy boots.
This is makeup for men. This is like literally a boob job for me.
All right, let me try this again.
Okay.
I got to hand it to short people.
Oh, no, you delivered it fine the first time.
Now I got to do it again.
All right, fine.
Because I didn't finish it.
Please leave in the first version.
I will. I gotta. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to have hand it to me.
I gotta hand it to short people.
Yeah?
Because they caught. I can't get through it. Doing it. Here it is.
Okay. I won't even look at you.
No, look at me. Put your hand down. Gotta hand it to short people.
Okay.
Because they often can't reach things on their own.
Oh, my God.
All right.
Bro.
Do you have another one?
Yeah, I got another one. Let's see.
I have another one too.
How do flat earthers travel?
How do they travel?
On a plane. The geometry joke.
You know, it's been scientifically proven that women can be satisfied by 3.5 inches.
I'm living proof.
Doesn't matter if it's Visa, MasterCard, or American Express.
Also true. All right. I was playing chess with a friend, and he said, let's make this interesting.
Okay.
So we stopped playing chess.
Let's make this interesting. Let's just stop playing this game. All right. I called the paranoia hotline the other day.
The what?
I called the paranoia.
Paranoia. Okay.
I called the paranoia hotline the other day.
Okay.
They answered and said, "How did you get this number?"
I barely get that.
They're paranoid.
How did you get this number?
I called the paranoia hotline. I can't even say paranoia. Okay, look at me. I called the paranoia hotline the other day.
Yeah.
They answered and said, "How did you get this number?"
That's it.
Right? Good. I got one more. I ordered a book called How to Scam.
How to scam?
How to Scam.
Okay.
It's been 6 months now. Hope it shows up.
Man, what was the last time? Okay. Tell me, be thinking about getting scammed because I got a story to tell you and I want to hear yours. When we were 16,
Yep.
okay, you got the Ford Taurus that Justin used to drive.
Yes.
Which had the cool wheels. I always thought the
Yeah.
wheels were cool in that. And then I got an 88 Corolla.
Yeah.
And it was black and it had the flip-up headlights.
Yep.
And mine was manual. I was driving around and having a good time with it. I drove to the Quick Trip, and there was this greasy man. And I say greasy because he literally was greasy. Like, he looked
Covered in grease.
slick.
Nice.
And he had a shirt on that said Chili's and a tag that said manager on it. Like a Chili's, like with the printed logo,
Okay.
and a thing that said manager.
All right.
And he was standing outside of a Quick Trip, and it's a gas station. And I let him into my car because he said he needed to go half a mile down the street to O'Reilly's. And I was 16, so I was like, yeah, I'll give you a ride, whatever. This is a different time, folks.
God. Okay.
Homie's in my car, greasy man, very rotund man, short, greasy, jerry curls, like slicked back. It was just like all hair product. And he's like, can you wait here? Because I just need to buy these parts for my car so I can go back to the Quick Trip and get my car going. I was like, okay, cool. And he comes out of the O'Reilly's. He says, you can wait in here if you want. And so I was like, sure. I didn't know any better, so I was waiting. And he goes into the O'Reilly's, comes back out and says, hey, I'm just short like $40 on this. Can you let me borrow $40? And I promise you, I will hire you at my Chili's.
Oh my God.
For like 15 an hour. That's what he said. He's like, I'm hiring people out back at the Chili's for 15 an hour. And this is 2000 and it had to have been like 6 or 5, like around that time, God. Right? He was like, if you give me this $40 and you come into the Chili's, you got a job with me, man. It's going to be great. I'll hire you. You can work in the back for 15 an hour, and which is an enormous amount of money.
For that time, yeah.
It was twice what minimum wage was. Like, easily twice what minimum wage was at the time. So I was 16, and I was like, I can't turn that down, and I'm working for shit over
Take my $40.
Yeah, here you go.
I'll make it back in 4 hours or 3 hours.
Yeah, it'll take no time at all. This was the best investment in my life I've ever made. Anyways, this guy's like, thank you so much, and he goes back in, and I was like, hey, do you need a ride over to your car? And he's like, nah, I got it. I'll figure it out. And I was like, great. I'm going to be rich. So I drove off, $40 less in my wallet.
And never got a job at Chili's.
Bro, I go to this Chili's. My dude, I went to the Chili's. And they don't even have the shirts. And I was like, hey, there's this like greasy short man that says he runs the place. He's had a manager sticker on, and he said that he worked at Chili's, and he said he would give me a job here. And they're like, bro, we don't even wear like polos that say Chili's on them. I don't even know where you would get a shirt like that.
That guy went into wherever you took him and was like, got him.
Got him, yeah. That dude he worked me over so bad.
That reminds me of a story.
And that's why I never donate to anything.
One time I was outside of, I used to work at Epic and DJ Connections, and I was done for the day. I went into the parking lot, and I was just sitting in my car for a second, looking at my phone or something. Mm-hmm. This dude knocks on my phone. I mean, not knocks on my phone, but knocks on my window. And I roll, and he looks like a greasy dude. I roll down the window, and he goes, give me a ride to Quick Trip, and I won't kill you.
No way.
No, this is literally what he said to me.
When did this happen?
This is like 10 years ago.
Okay.
10, maybe 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, I guess I'm giving this guy a ride to Quick Trip.
He's hostaging me.
Not looking to die today, so it looks kind of scary. I guess I'll give him a ride to Quick Trip. And so he gets in my car, and we're heading down the road to Quick Trip. And all of a sudden, he starts telling me, yeah, I used to be the lead guitarist to Lynyrd Skynyrd. I go, oh, really? He's like, yeah, I was. Would you like my autograph? I go, no, I'm good. You don't want the autograph to the lead guitarist of Lynyrd Skynyrd? And I realized in my head, this man's crazy. You better get that autograph. Yes, I do want the autograph.
Actually, yeah.
The lead guitarist of Lynyrd Skynyrd. He's like, you got a pen? It's like, I hope I have a pen.
I really need a pen.
My life depends on it. Here's a pen. He's like, got a piece of paper? I find a random receipt. Here's a receipt. Just put it on there. And he writes it down and gives it to me. I get to Quick Trip, and he's like, I'm just going to go in and get some drinks, and I'll come right back. And here's the autograph. Thank you so much for your help. And I go, no problem. Lead guitarist from Lynyrd Skynyrd. And he goes into Quick Trip, and I leave. I book it right out of there. But it was one of the most craziest things that's ever happened to me, because the dude literally starts the conversation with, knock, 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 ride to Quick Trip, and you won't die.
Oh, man. Okay, so here's the question, right? So somebody wants to mug you.
Yeah.
Take your wallet, or somebody threatens to kill you at the Quick Trip parking lot, or whatever, wherever you're at.
Yeah.
there's a piece of you have a choice. You get to pick whether or not you just give the guy your wallet, right? Give him your wallet. What's it going to cost you? Maybe $100 in cash and a few calls to the bank to cancel all your cards, right? Which is really annoying and inconvenient. And then for the rest of your life, you're like, I could have taken him.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or you actually go, you're not going to kill me.
Yeah.
And you just drive away.
Yeah.
I think at my stage of life, because I don't have children and I'm not even married, so like, I would probably be more likely to be like, sir, do your worst. And I would drive away. I'm in a 3,000-pound machine. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of risk to manage there because,
yeah,
especially if you're a dad, you're like, probably makes more sense just to give my wallet so I don't have to deal with what the actual outcome would be. But this leads me to my next question. I don't know why, but when was the moment where you first started noticing girls?
Oh, it was early.
How early?
I think I was. Oh.
When was the
I
moment?
remember in kindergarten.
Really?
I remember in kindergarten being like A, B, C, D, Michelle. There was a girl named Michelle in kindergarten. And I was like, damn.
The reason why I asked this question is my son is in kindergarten
Yeah.
and he's starting to notice girls.
Love it.
It's and my wife was a little bit concerned.
No.
So
Not
this
even
is what
close.
happened.
That's
So that's what I said. Let me tell you the story. Oliver started asking about girls
Yeah.
to Lauren. And they had this conversation, and then after they had this conversation, Lauren comes out to me and goes, I'm kind of concerned about Oliver. And I go, why? He's noticing girls.
Oh, he's male?
And I thought, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Sounds about right. Kindergarten was a hit for me, too.
Yeah, what was it like for you? What was your story?
Kindergarten. So in kindergarten is when I really started to like girls. In fact, it was a weird situation. I was going to Grace, which is
Rest in peace.
Yeah, a school here in Tulsa, and there was this girl named Amber, where she had this system where she was going to go down in order all the desks and date all the boys in her grade. And I had figured this out. And so, and I thought she was pretty. I saw her 1 week with this dude, 1 week with this dude, 1 week with this dude, and the dude that she was currently dating was right behind me in my desk.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, next week,
It's me.
it's me. I'm going to have a girlfriend next week.
Yeah.
And so the week started, and just like clockwork, she walked up to me and was like, hey, you want to be my boyfriend? And I was like, oh, yeah.
All right.
Yes, I do.
Giggity.
and so,
But it was short-lived.
it only lasted a week. That's how the system works. But you know, my awareness was not great as a 5-year-old. So we'd be hanging out, being boyfriend and girlfriend, and the end of school would start, and we'd all go onto the bleachers and wait for our parents to show up.
Yeah.
And we'd sit next to each other. And I'd be sitting there and be like, well, this is a great moment for me to put my arm around her. And I'd put my arm around her, and she'd make a face like this. And she'd make a face like that.
rolling her
And she'd
eyes.
literally grab my arm and put it back on my leg. And I go, okay. 5 seconds later, I'd be like, maybe she'd be all right with it now. And so I do it again. Because I'm 5 years old. I'm not very aware.
That'd have been hilarious if you were like, we're dating. We're not married.
We're not dating. Yes.
Married,
And so I
yeah.
did it
Why you gotta
again.
do this way?
And she'd just be like, again. And you'd be like, okay. Anyways, that relationship only lasted a week.
Understandably.
Just like the system put in place. And then she moved on to the next guy.
Oh, one time there was this girl that liked me around that time. No, 5th grade. Wait, how old were you?
In kindergarten.
Yeah, there was a girl in 5th grade that was chasing me at recess, and she was actually the daughter of like a full-on really famous person in town, like a conservative talk radio host. And I didn't realize what that meant, but she would chase me at recess, and I was terrified.
I remember you telling me this story as a kid.
Like, I was full on, like, for days. It was like recess would happen, and then I'm like, this chick's gonna kick my ass. Like, and I can't remember what happened. I was like mean to one of her friends, or something, whatever had happened. And this girl, Kelsey, she was gonna come after me. So I was a fat kid, and I could not run very far, very fast. And one day, I was like, man, I'm going to have to confront this problem. Because it's been almost a whole week of running all recess away from this girl.
This girl's going to beat me.
Yeah, this girl is going to absolutely cremate me. Because she thinks she's a little taller than I was. So I decided I was going to trip her. Because I couldn't keep running.
Yep.
It was either stand and fight.
Or trip her.
And, bro, you remember those rip-away pants?
Yep.
With, like, the buttons all the way down?
Yep.
Dude, I tripped her so bad. Like, I was like, I stuck out my leg. Kabam! And she ripped. And, like, was bloody. Like, the whole thing, it was
no.
She ate shit on the asphalt. And she was like, and then she looks up to me and she goes, I was trying to apologize to you. It's just like her hands are like mincemeat from the asphalt, and her
you tripped
like
this
parachute.
Girl.
Yeah, I tripped a girl.
You tripped this girl, and she turned around and goes, I was just trying to say sorry.
Yeah, this whole time she was trying to make amends.
Oh no!
Oh
no,
bro.
Donnie! What a traumatic experience.
That's why women don't like me.
Probably. Donnie, I'm just trying to say sorry.
I was trying to apologize.
Oh my goodness.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. That's awful.
I'm sorry, Kelsey.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about. I'm sorry about your rip-away track pants. I'm sorry about everything.
I got terrified.
You like all women, scare the hell out of me. And when you trap an animal, and do not be surprised when it bites you.
If you hold a spider and it's just on your hand,
Yeah,
it won't bite you. But if you take your hand and put another hand on it,
it's biting you.
it will bite you because it's trapped. Yes.
Sorry, Kelsey.
So you were basically a spider. Well, we've hit the 2-hour mark, and we didn't even touch like half the thing.
That's always how it works.
But that's good because
We'll talk about it later.
we got another podcast coming next week.
All right.
So that is another podcast, episode 7. If you have not hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment, tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next week.